This is episode 3 of Better Late Than Clever, and I've been doing this now, collecting information, fabulous stories. I'm just really interested and enthralled by what is being said, and then I suddenly realised I'm doing all this work with the elders or the seniors, and then I suddenly realised that I'm as old as and older than quite a majority of the people that are there. So I thought, why not do one of the stories from my past? So I picked this one, and it has to do with this, the famous hat. This hat is something like 60 years old. It has just had new lining, but I don't know whether that counts. And this was bought in London on my honeymoon with my first wife. I call her my first wife, it keeps her on her toes. And we were in Covent Garden Market. And I was a market trader myself at the time. And there was a grafter, that's a market trader in the slang, in Covent Garden Market. And he had this tit for, because we're going to give you a lesson in Cockney rhyming slang, if you like. This is a tit for tat. This is a tat. And he had it on his loaf of bread, his head. I looked through the stall and I couldn't find one, so I said to him, I want one of those hats. And he said, this is mine and it's not for sale. Well, it was the sort of the competition of the two grafters, really, because I wanted it and he said he didn't want to sell it. Well, about an hour and a half later, I drew a tray, that's 3, out of my pocket, gave it to him, he gave me the hat, and I walked off with the titfer on my head, and I've had it there ever since. So if anybody's got a story of that nature from their past, do get in touch. Get on the Facebook page, Better Late Than Clever, and send me a message and tell me what it is, and we'll I don't know, we'll come and do an interview with you if you want, just for it to go on the podcast. This month's podcast has been as entertaining and exciting as usual. Ron, who we'll be looking at later on, he had a story about being a teacher. So before you switch off and say, oh, teachers, it is very, very interesting. And when we come to the end of the teacher bit, don't switch off, because there's a more interesting piece. And I switched the camera back on and we did another bit of the interview with Ron. And also there's a little tail piece to it, a photo of it, not a video. So that's to come later on in the episode. But what can I do? I just say thank you for being here and just enjoy it as I do. Here we go. Well, I'm out again this afternoon and we are talking to a very interesting character. His name is Ron, and he's going to talk to us about his experience in education. Morning, Ron. Is it morning? It's still morning, is it?
No, it's afternoon.
Afternoon. Look, that's how good I am.
Wake up.
Well, I woke up late this morning. This is Ron, and he's going to talk to us about his experience in education.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Fair enough. As a youngster, I was brought up in an ordinary mining family. I was fortunate enough to pass my 11 plus.
Me too.
And went to grammar school.
Me too.
Then to college.
No.
And then qualified as a teacher.
Excellent.
My teaching career started off in Slough in Buckinghamshire, as it was then.
Yeah.
And from there I travelled around the country. Next place was Truro in Cornwall. From there I came up and taught in Kent.
Yeah. Nice part of the world, isn't it? It's a nice part of the world up there, yeah.
Very nice. Quite amusing actually, because I was teaching at an school. And I was talking, and the one boy said to me, "Excuse me, sir," he said, "why do we send the Queen plums?" said, sorry,
Don't let back into here.
what are you talking about? He said,
I don't think it'll go.
they say send a Victorian. And there's so many round the cheese here, he said. Why do we need to send them to her?
Okay.
Oh, Mum gets those at the shop. So anyhow, that was a little experience there. From there I went up to Norfolk and I taught in a place called Walton. School there. And,
Was that an ordinary school or an approved? That was an ordinary. You were in the ordinary education stream then?
perhaps I should explain that slightly. My wife got nervous because we had a daughter and she was a bit worried about her in the approved school.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
And I taught in Wharton, where I come in contact with a lot of RAF people
Oh, right.
who said to me, why don't you
What we might get.
go and teach abroad the service children? Something I had never heard of. And it was a place called SCIA,
Oh, right.
Service Children's Educational Authority. Well, I applied. I went for an interview. I was interviewed. The first interview I had, there was a civilian gentleman there who at one stage came in and said to me, what did I think about an all-age special needs class?
Oh, right.
Which I immediately replied, I don't agree with it, because you can't expect a 15-year-old
yes.
to work with an 11 and 12-year-old.
Yes, yeah.
And to which he said, well, you won't come to my school, he said, because that's what I do.
Oh, right.
So, thinking that was it, they thanked me for, being at the interview. I said thank you in return and went outside, but I was followed by the chairman of the committee, who said to me, he said, I was very impressed with you. He said, can I use your name if a further job crops up? So I said, certainly, and went back home, said, didn't get it, and forgot about it. And then a few months later, I had a letter saying I was going to Cyprus.
Oh!
I hadn't been interviewed for it or anything. Don't give your notice in until you get the official forms, which I waited for. I got, I filled in, sent it back, and I then gave in my notice, and I went then out to Cyprus.
Hey, how long did you stay in Cyprus?
More than 20 years.
Oh, so it was home really then,
Yes.
wasn't it? By that time. And what they speak, they speak Cypriot in Cyprus?
yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have, because you were in the forces children, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
So,
teaching the service children.
yeah, so they would
But
probably be
it's
English.
inevitable that you will pick up so
Oh, yeah,
much
yeah.
of the language, which I did. I then, in fact, married a Cypriot
Oh, okay.
and had 2 children who are both bilingual.
Hey, that's the way. That's the way.
And so we then agreed that they would speak Greek with their mother
All right.
and her relatives. They would speak English at school, because that's where they went to the English school, and English with me.
Well, that's really nice, isn't it? Because today we're all concerned about nationalities and all that sort of thing. To have that kind of thing in a foreign country, getting on well, getting part of it, and doing a useful job there. Can I ask you, do you remember the places in Cyprus that you lived and taught? Do you remember that?
Certainly. When I first went to Cyprus, I taught in Episcopi, St. John's School, which was a school of 1,800 pupils, 100 staff.
Perhaps off there and go there.
I came home on into tour leave, and whilst I was there, the Turks invaded Cyprus.
Oh, yes.
So I was out in Cyprus for a year, and then they wrote to me and said, would I like to go back,
You got another one?
but this
Go on,
time
Indy.
to the other side of the island, at Decalia, at
Oh,
Cambridge
oh, oh.
School, Decalia.
Right. Now, did they have a partition
Very wrong, I should win here.
in Cyprus at that time?
Oh
I
yes,
should win here.
the border was in Nicosia,
Oh, right.
or Lefkosia, as it's called.
Yeah, should have done.
And you're guided by that, and that's when I lived there then.
Good shot.
Then I came out of that school, and I went to teach
Win back,
in
it went in,
the
it come back out.
American Academy
Oh, yeah.
in
Wait, it
Cyprus,
come back out.
in Larnaca,
You're going in there,
and
flattening the ball.
I was there till I returned to the UK.
Now, how much did they pay you? I know that might be an embarrassing question. And did you drive a big flash car?
No, I drove
Oh, yes, sir,
a
you're on the
Volvo,
Oh, welcome to the club. I used to do Volvo.
only because it was duty free.
Ah, I didn't get mine duty free.
Oh,
I paid
you've done to me.
£908
How do I
for
get
my
there?
first Volvo.
Yes. I think my first Volvo I paid 1,200 quid, so
Yeah.
about the same. Was it an estate car or a car?
The first one I had was a car.
Oh, right.
I then had an estate car later when going off there to various holidays in Turkey,
Oh, right.
travelling.
Now, I know when the other folks sit around you asked you, did you end your teaching career in Cyprus, or did you come home and do some teaching here?
Well, I officially ended teaching in Cyprus.
Hey!
I came back and did some supply work. And did some supply work.
Ah, right, yeah, got that. I got that.
But then I did supply work for a while, a few years. And then I even went into the school to supervise exams.
Oh, right. And I just had a question then, and as usual, it's just, I know, how did you end up in South Wales?
I was born here.
No, that's how you started.
Yeah, that's...
How did you end up here? You went all on Cyprus, or you
Yeah.
came back home, did you?
Yes,
Ah, right. Did you actually teach in Wales at all?
I only on supply.
Oh, right. Ah, cool. Cool. Yeah. Just a minute. Now, we've just been talking on the side, you know, as we do, and I found another interesting fact about Ron, and he's going to tell us now. Just come out of the blue. What about your career off the teaching field and in something sporty?
Well, I went to the grammar school and
Which grammar school?
Harvard at all.
Have it all.
Yeah,
Oh, it's no longer there, is it?
no, it's no
No.
longer there.
A friend of mine used to teach there years ago, but he would be after your time, you know. But have it all, yeah. Go on, you went there.
I went there and progressed with the junior team and the middle school team, and then it got in the senior school team and played then for Monmouthshire, had trials, and then went on to play for the Welsh under 18.
What position did you play, Ron?
I was a prop forward.
Oh, you was an hefty bloke, were you? Nowadays?
I was quite a bulky fellow then.
Well, I was open side wing forward
All right.
because I wasn't bulky, and my father before me was a scrum half
Oh, no.
because he was less bulky than me.
Well, believe it or not, I actually ended up playing scrum half.
Did you?
Yeah, that was in Cyprus.
Oh, right.
When I was getting on,
Oh,
I use that word politely. And the grounds were nice and firm,
Oh, right. Yeah, it was
There's no-
nice weather.
pulling your feet out of the mud.
Yeah. Now let's make a comparison here. The ball that you played rugby with, you couldn't kick a goal from your own half with that, could you? It was too heavy, wasn't it?
Was it leather?
Leather, especially playing in the wet.
Oh, in the wet. Oh, you used to dub them.
That's it. That's it.
We used to dub them.
Yeah.
But I kicked for the school, and I kicked some quite lengthy ones.
But today they
Oh, today.
they come out of the tunnel. They can kick
Yeah.
it over the drop kick it, can't they?
Yeah, but in the meantime, I played in Slough in England. I then played in Cornwall. I then played in Kent. And then up in Norfolk and Captain Norfolk.
Oh, hey, cool.
And from there I went to Cyprus. And then I went with the Combined Services team from Cyprus.
Well,
Down to
how old
Arfield.
were you when you captained up in Norfolk?
20,
Oh, that was cool.
27, 28.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Excellent.
And
Excellent.
we went down to Kenya.
Oh, cool.
And played
I got all
down
the
there.
tips for the.
Fabulous. Hey, that is super. Is that good? That is really good.
Well, there you are. That was the interview. And I'm sure you were as surprised with the result that you heard as I was. Now, you might have heard in the background, well, definitely heard in the background, that they were playing a rather noisy game of pool because it was a men's club that afternoon that we were recording in. And this person that you will see in this photo was responsible for the noise. Introducing you to Tony.
Right, and here with
Many, many years ago, when I was 33, 100 years ago when I was 33, I got married to a widow woman. It was beautiful as could be. Now this widow had a grown-up daughter, there, a flaming red. My father fell in love with her, and soon the two were wed. I made my dad my son-in-law, and changed my very life. Well, my stepdaughter became my mother, because she was my father's wife. Now, to complicate the matters worse, although it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. The little baby then became a brother-in-law to Dad, therefore became my uncle, which made me rather sad. For if my baby was my uncle, I also made him brother to the widow's grown-up daughter, who in fact was my stepmother. Now, father's wife had a son who kept them on the run, and he became my grandson, for he was my stepdaughter's son. So my wife became my mother's mother, and that made me very blue. Oh, of course, she was my wife, she was my grandmother too. Now, if my wife is my grandmother, I am her grandchild, and the very thought of it really drove me wild. For now you see I have become the strangest case you ever saw. As a husband of my grandmother, I am my own grandpa.
That's it, that is fabulous. Is that one of the famous holiday ones?
Oh no, no. That's a famous no one is.
I'm trying to remember, how much was Stanley the only one doing monologues? Or I can't.
No, there were a couple more on stage, but Stanley, there was among the one we knew most of them.
Yeah.
He was actually a bass baritone, Stanley Holloway, and he was Albert Doolittle in My Fair Lady.
Oh, right.
You know My Fair Lady.
Yes, I
the
remember the film, yeah.
Yeah, well, he was the father of My Fair Lady.
Oh, did you see him live?
I saw him live once, yes, but he used to be on the wireless.
Yes, he was. He really was a radio character, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Of course, they're all gone now.
I mean, say he was doing these monologues I do back in the 1920s.
Oh,
You know.
yeah.
So, yeah.
What attracted you to monologue? That kind. I mean, it's very clever, and you've got to have a really good memory. But what attracted you to performing those things? Was it the content?
No, well, I used to do quizzes, like, you know.
All right.
I was a member of a quiz team for 20 years.
All right.
And then we used to have a little break in the middle of it, everybody would be talking around, so I was just as well to shut them up.
Well, I'm sure it worked.
Oh.
Where in the country were you when you were doing this? Because you're not Welsh, you?
No, right, I've been here since 1957.
Oh, right.
So I'm an Irish name,
Mm-hmm.
born in England. I lived in Wales anyway.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty sort of cosmopolitan, I suppose. Yeah. Well, I love them. I enjoy them. And what you were in the army? We just
I was in the army. I was in Hong Kong for a while. When I came back, I was in Courtney Gotham for the last 12 months of my army. So
Oh right. Yeah. Were you weren't national?
I was a regular soldier.
You was a regular. Yeah. When did you sign up for the army?
1953.
Was it?
Yeah.
And well, a bit of travelling then.
Oh yeah, we went.
Yeah.
I went all over this country, sort of thing, and then they sent me to HongOng.
Oh,
And I was in Hong Kong for 2.5 years.
Well, that's an experience, I think, Hong
Oh,
Kong,
yeah.
isn't it? It really is. And of course, at that time they were colonial, weren't they? Hong Kong was. Have they give it back yet? Or
It was British rule. Didn't
British
give it
rule,
back
yeah.
to the 1950s.
Yeah.
57, 58, something like that.
yeah.
So,
Hey, well, Patrick, it's great to see you again. And what I want to ask you now, how are you getting on with the ukulele playing?
oh, not too bad.
Yeah.
I don't play very much nowadays.
Well, I tell you what, I've just written a song, the traditional 3 chords, C, F, and G.
Yeah.
I expect you could, if I bring my ukulele down, I got a baritone, but if I bring mine down,
Yeah.
we could have a plonk again together sometime.
I got a banjo lady, see.
Yes, I know, I saw it, you saw it last time. But yeah, that's really good. Well, there's another old-fashioned guy, isn't there? Mr. Formby,
George Formby,
because
yeah.
that's what he used to play, didn't he?
Leaning on the lamppost at the corner of the street.
That's right. That's it. He used to play a banjolele.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'll come down. We'll arrange something. I'll bring mine down and see if we can pick up this song. that
Give
I've
us how the tune goes, and then
Yes.
you've got the chords written on there.
I'm done. Yes, I'm getting it all done like that. But this is the first thing that I've ever been able to write with the music.
Oh yeah.
Because I could never play it well enough to produce my own music.
Yeah,
But
you've got the
now-
words on there and the chords. I can very
I've
likely
written the
pick it up.
words. Oh, no problem. I got it all double spaced and yeah. And like I said, it's C, F, and G, which is a standard sort of thing. And there may be one. It may be G7.
Is it G7 or older G?
Well, it's G, and then you might do one G7th on that. It's very
Well, if it's
simple.
written down, I can do it. Like
You do it easy. So we'll organise that, and that what we'll do probably we'll have a look at it. We'll film us doing it, and then if we're a bit happy with it, we'll put it out on the on the website.
So we've had 2 great interviews there and a little bit of background information. You've got a few hints on the old Cockney rhyming slang. We hope to see you again, so look out for the next episode and comment. And what would be good if you shared this information to try and get as many people looking at these stories as we possibly can. Bye for now.